Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about misconceptions about the zodiac sign Aquarius. Now, Aquarius can very strongly emphasize qualities being connected with being eccentric, unorthodox, non-conforming, ingenious, innovative, even sometimes the rebel. It can be prominent more in Aquarius than in other signs, and the maverick qualities. And the thing about this is, now Aquarius does, on average, I believe, would emphasize these qualities or exude these characteristics more strongly than any other zodiac sign. However, what one must take into consideration, of course, is that there are modifying influences in a natal chart, and Aquarius, we look at this as a very progressive sign. The thing about this, though, and Aquarius is known to be a universal friend. Here's the thing. If someone was to say they had Aquarius in their sun, moon, or ascendant, and if maybe they had, there's one example could be somebody having a preponderance of planets in introverted signs and the majority below the horizon. Well, this person's going to be a little bit more reserved and introverted than the typical Aquarian personality. Now, also, I can give you an example from I consider it a celebrity horoscope, but it's the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Now, Barack Obama has Aquarius rising. Well, those characteristics will be more readily expressed as far as his outer characteristics, his outer demeanor, as opposed to the other elements in his natal chart. However, there are modifying influences in his chart. His sun sign is in Leo, and Leo can tend to be a little bit more conservative than Aquarius. So he's got like a conflict there between the sun sign and a conservative Leo and the Aquarian unorthodox, somewhat more, I guess you could say, having a more ingenious, progressive side to him. Now, he also, Barack Obama, another modifying influence, I believe, is that he has one of his chart rulers, Saturn, which of course it's in its dignity and sign in Capricorn. He has that in conservative Capricorn, and he also has Jupiter making a conjunction to that Saturn, so which can further enlarge and expand perhaps strong conservative tendencies or characteristics. Now, his other chart ruler, Uranus, is in conservative Leo. So this is going to be certain modification right there. And while Barack Obama may strongly exude outer Aquarian characteristics as far as his outer demeanor and projection of self goes, he is going to be a little bit more conservative, I believe, on average because of this than the typical Aquarius rising person. There's other things to look at too in a person's chart if they have Aquarius either in the sun, moon, or ascendant. Now, let's say that somebody has the sun, moon, or ascendant in the sign of Aquarius, but they have Saturn making a conjunction to the sun, moon, or ascendant. Now, that would be in Aquarius. Now, that could give somebody a little bit more orthodox, conventional, more pragmatic way about them, as opposed to the person that didn't have that conjunction. So you have to really, it's about taking the whole chart into consideration and factoring everything in. And also, with Saturn being a co-ruler of Aquarius, Saturn is known to be, Saturn is connected with the sign Capricorn, which is conservative. So even though Aquarius, I believe, in my opinion, I think it's many people will say, well, it's evenly balanced with Saturn and Uranus. I think Aquarius is more associated with the planet Uranus, and I think they lean more toward being the maverick as opposed to being ultra conservative, which would be associated with Capricorn. But it is ruled by both, and so right there it can state that Aquarius can actually have some strong conservative qualities as well, but they may be very fixed in a lot of their conservative views, being the fact that it's a fixed sign. So those are some things to take into consideration when you're looking at the sign Aquarius. And really, it's about, like I stated before, it's really about looking at all the elements, all the nuances in a person's natal horoscope. And don't forget that in any zodiac sign, you're going to have a decadent or a decan, and that will flavor that sign as well. If somebody has, say, Aquarius ascendant, and let's say that they have Gemini as far as their decan, Gemini decan would fall between 10 degrees Aquarius and 19 degrees 59 minutes of arc of Aquarius, and that would give a little bit more of a mercurial, loquacious side to the person's nature, maybe a little bit more whimsical than the typical Aquarian ascendant. And Barack Obama has his ascendant, I believe it's like, I don't remember the exact degree, but I think it's around 18, and falls in the Gemini decan, so we could see this in Barack Obama. So really what it comes down to, just look at the chart as a whole, and don't just analyze or scrutinize one proponent, because if you do that, you'll be missing out on a lot. And that's really what I think makes astrology so intriguing and fascinating, because there's so many components that make up a whole. It's like an intricate piece of machinery with so many parts that make up that composition of that particular individual. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for misconceptions about the zodiac sign Aquarius. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be continuing my series on duplicated signs in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.